Judy from Witchpeace Craft. Welcome. Well, it's time for week 4 of the Pink October Challenge AU, where we are raising the awareness of breast cancer by crafting in the colour pink. So for me, week 4, I did a lot of double dipping, I'll admit. But I have got a lot on my plate marker prepping, but I do like make-alongs. So first off the rank for me is I've been doing Bod Hatapalooza with Laura at Mad Meanies Farming and Crochet for a number of years. And last week's hat, because this week's hat's about to come out, was perfect. And I thought, because I don't always do them, they have to be fit for purpose. I can either donate to charity or sell on. I don't want a lot of hats that I can't get rid of. So this one was great. It was called Under the Stairs Beanie Unisex, and I decided to double dip and do it in pink. Here it is. This head's quite small, so it looks slouchy, but on me it's a perfect fit. It is Red Heart Super Saver. I can't remember what colour pink. I've lost the ball band. And I used now to get a smaller size, I used a 4mm crochet hook, and it worked out just right for me. So there you go. Under the Stairs Beanie in pink. Double dipping. Bod Hatapalooza, Pink October. Sorry about the lights fading in and out. And if I sound a little breathless, it's because it's really hot here and humidity has skyrocketed. And since I had COVID a couple of times, when the humidity first hits, I have trouble breathing. I find that I get really breathless. I have to stay in air conditioning until I start to acclimatise, and it doesn't affect me as much. So I do apologise if I sound a little breathy. So the next one I double dipped in is Mad Mimi's Farming and Crochet. Laura came up with a new make-along called What's in a Name. So for October, you had to find a pattern or a tutorial or design a pattern or make something and give it your name. So I went with what I thought was birth name. I'm not sure how it quite worked out, but my birth name is Judith. Everyone calls me Judy, but when I was in trouble with my parents when I was younger, it was always Judith. So yes, I went looking and I really couldn't find anything suitable that I wanted to make. There were a lot of patterns by people called Judith, but the only little one I came across that I thought I could make was, are you ready? This huge stocking, the little Judith stocking. It's a pattern on Ravelry. I think you click the link and it takes you to her blog. It's a little Christmas stocking called Judith's Little Stocking. So I made it in the leftover Red Heart Super Saver, and it's got this curly, loopy, what's it called? Curly loop yarn that I'm pretty sure it was Raylene. I've got an end there I've got to cut off. That Raylene sent as a donation. I've used it in amigurumis for hair, and I thought the grey went really well with the pink. So that was for What's in a Name. But then I started to feel really guilty because I hadn't put much effort into this make-along that I really like. So I decided I'd design a pattern after I found this stitch on YouTube that I'd never heard of before, never tried. So here it is. Of course, I designed a tea cozy using the Judith stitch. Can you see that? Isn't that awesome? I really liked it when I saw it, and it was perfect for a tea cozy. Except so let me clarify. This is pure wool. It's 8-ply DK 3-weight wool. So it's quite fine. She usually recommended a 4mm crochet hook, but I didn't want it too holey for a tea cozy. So I went down to a 3mm and made it. And the flower on top, I decided to use was a Bag O' Day tutorial that she did 11 years ago, but still perfect for this. So that is the Judith cozy for What's in a Name. I decided I'd make my own. I also made a change to my tea cozies. Can you see the little button? Some of my past customers have said, why not just, when I make 2 pieces, I either stitch it in the round at the bottom or make two. I sew them together. And they said, why not put a little button opening there and make it easier to get on and off? And this pattern really lent itself to that. So that's what I've done. Now, this pink and cream yarn looks really pretty. It reminds me of coconut ice, which is a sweet treat. I don't know if you have it anywhere else, but it's usually quite, just about every household serves it at Christmas. Very sweet. I can't really eat it, and it's good. And if you don't like coconut, then you really won't like it. And this yarn does look pretty. I had 2 50-gram balls in my wool stash. Sorry about that. Upset. If I was to make a wearable for a little girl using that yarn, she'd go, oh, it's so itchy. It's very coarse wool. It's not that soft. So it was perfect for a tea cozy, and I'm using up my yarn stash. I really like the idea of what's in a name. I just would never have thought of that for a make-along. And Laura has already released a video for the name for November. So I'll put a link to that. Check it out. Yet again, she's come up with a name, where you get your name from, and it blows me away because I wouldn't have thought of that either. And it's like, well, that's logical. So yes, I've already found a pattern for one of the names. I don't know if I'll make two. I think one might be enough because the pattern I found is quite challenging. But make sure you check it out and jump on board and have some fun with what's in a name, because you can always design your own pattern. I haven't written a pattern up for that. I can't make up my mind whether to write a pattern or do a tutorial or just forget it. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Write a pattern, do a tutorial, just forget about it. Just let me know what you think. So moving on to those people who sent me photos this week, we've always had a reasonable amount of input of people. So I'm going to go through and talk about them, but there'll be a slideshow at the end and their names will be on the photo. So please watch the slideshow, congratulate them on what they've made. There's some really great stuff there. So first off the ranks, Barbara L. Barbara sent me week 3 because she'd forgotten last time, and it was a scarf. And then week 4 was a hat, and a beanie or hat. And they've already been donated to charity. I'm pretty sure of it, because that's what she does. Then there's Karen S. Karen made 2 hats, one in petal pink and one in pretty pink. Pretty pink is the darker one. These are hats she sells in her Etsy shop. They're amazing. You must check out her Etsy shop. I really like these hats, and you can dress them up, and she makes them look so different. Even if you just favorite some of her items in her Etsy shop and help her with the algorithm, that would be great. Julianne, as always, as far as I can remember, supported my make-alongs one way or another. She made 3 amigurumis, a little flamingo by Crafts to Bloom, a no-sew cat by Chronically Crochet, Crystal at Chronically Crochet, a fish by my_universe64. Now remember, any patterns, tutorials, anything I can think of, there'll be links in the description below so you can check them out. But if there's something else, email me and I'll track it down for you. Then there's Karen A in the USA. She made the most amazing striped socks. I've only ever knitted 4 pair, and I am getting better, but I think it would take me a lot of practice to be as good as Karen. These look amazing. Then there's my lovely friend Raylene in Victoria. She sent a baby blanket, I think, well, it might be just a blanket or a throw, and a beanie. And I think one was from week 3, or they were from week 3 and she forgot. But anyway, her photo's there. The blanket is truly amazing, and I'm always looking for ideas for blankets. And then no photo, but I want you to go and check out her channel. Litzer at Coco's Crochet has been like me. She's been double dipping. So she does beanie of the week, and she made a beanie in pink and promoted the challenge and talked about breast cancer awareness, and that was really great. So I really like to thank Litzer for that, and make sure you check out her channel. give her a thumbs up, help her algorithm along. So there you have it. They're the people who have sent photos this week. I want to thank everyone to date who has been sending photos, talking about it on their channels. You know, double dipping is not against the law. You can triple dip if you like. And I did think my blanket is not going to be finished by the end of October. I've just got so much markup prep on the go. But I always finish those blankets for charity. And I do have some other pink things on the go. So I thought I would do a finale video first week of November for Pink October, because I know there are some people out there still working on projects. So I'd really like to encourage them to finish it, send their photos in for the finale slideshow, and we will wind it up that way. Now remember, you can email your photos or you can post them in the Facebook group or on Instagram with hashtag Pink October Challenge AU. Guys, it has been a lot of fun. Normally in November I do a men's charity challenge or a men's health challenge, but because I have this big market and need to do market and get myself organized, I won't be doing that this year. But you never know, maybe next year. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed Pink October. I really like the way the beanie turned out. I think it was perfect for this particular tutorial by Crystal at Bag O' Day. And of course, my tea cozy. I always say you can never have too many tea cozies, and I do sell them at my markets. So it's also market prep besides double dipping. Anyway, stay safe, stay well. Don't forget, have those checks for breast cancer. We all have to get them done, even men. Until next time, bye for now.